Hi guys, thank you very much. Welcome to my training webinar today, how to make 100K plus a year doing small boot camps. If most of you know me, I've been doing boot camps now over the last 10 years, and I want to share with you guys something that I think is quite amazing. And for over the next 45 minutes to an hour, I'm going to share with you some amazing things about how you can also get involved in creating your own high ticket boot camps to make some really, really good money in 2020. So before we get started, just a brief introduction to myself for those of you guys who are new and don't know who I am. My name is Sahil Khan. I'm also known as the joint venture expert. Mark Goldman, one of Jay Abraham's partners, quoted me as a true rags to riches super success story, just like Andrew Carnegie. Jeff Mills, another well-known marketer, gave me the name of the Master Connector. I've achieved over $15 million using joint ventures. Joint ventures is primarily my main business and what I've been doing over the last sort of 15, 20 years, if most of you know who I am. I'm an international speaker also. I get paid around about between $10,000 and $15,000 for a keynote. I'm the only Brit ever invited to speak about joint ventures in the US. I'm also the creator of something called BrokeringBootcamp.com, which is my signature bootcamp program, and I'll talk more about that today and show you exactly what I've been doing with that. I'm also the author of Guerrilla Marketing and Joint Ventures with the late J. Conrad Levinson, who's my late mentor who passed away in 2014. I sold my main JV consulting business for 8 figures in 2017 and became semi-retired in 2017 and only just started again to come back into the business world just to have fun really and make money. So I'll take you through that today as well. Okay, so first of all, here's what I'll be covering today in this training webinar for those of you who are on the webinar. For those of you watching the recording, I appreciate your time. And here's what we'll be covering today. First of all, how anyone can easily make 100K plus, basically 6 figures a year in 2020. Also, how to get paid to go on vacation. This is something that's quite amazing, and I'm going to show you exactly how you can have so much fun doing this while making money at the same time. Also, one of the key aspects that I always go on about, which is how to make more money with less effort. I'm a big believer in this, and I'm a big advocate of doing things and focusing on how to leverage, basically, and make more money with things that work and that require less effort. I'm also going to talk to you about why I believe that high ticket boot camps are the actual solution to making easy 6 figures in 2020. I'm also going to talk to you about how to use the mastermind principle to apply this to your high ticket boot camps and make it very, very successful for those people attending. I'm also going to talk more about the Big Money Bootcamp system, a system that you can apply and go out and do your own bootcamps. So here's one thing. Most of you on this webinar, I promised to get you a copy of my 100K plus bootcamp checklist. So here's what I want you to do. Stay until the end of the webinar to get your bonus. The system I use tracks everyone that stays till the end, and I have all your email addresses, and you will be sent a copy of the 100K bootcamp checklist that I use for all my bootcamps if you stay to the end of this webinar. Thank you. Okay, first of all, let's look at this question, and I want you to give me an honest answer. So in the question chat box, I want you to tell me what is the greatest challenge in your business right now. Now, I know at the moment we've got loads of pandemics going on around the world, but what is the greatest challenge in your business right now that you're facing? Please let me know and write that in the chat box, the question box. If you can just give me an indication of what is the greatest challenge right now that you're you're facing in your business. And I'd love to see and love to hear that. So just in the chat box, the question box, let me know what it is right now that you're facing in terms of your greatest challenge. Okay, so we've got someone says here, getting enough and consistent leads. Leads is always a problem, and it's like with leads, it's like or we have organic leads and we have paid leads, and like I said, there are ways to generate leads very easily and sometimes even free. And I can tell you from my experience of using joint ventures, we've done that time and time again, and that's one thing that really helps on that front. Someone says how to structure content for a program or a bootcamp, and I'll take you through that today in terms of what you need to put together for creating a really good quality high ticket bootcamp. Okay, cool. So that's good. So thanks for that. I've got a couple more there as well, so that's fine. We'll go through those. And like I said, guys, we'll have a Q&A at the end. So if I've seen some questions coming through, you can just keep the questions coming, and we will have a Q&A at the end of this training webinar. Okay, so let's go on to the next thing. Now, does any of this sound familiar to you? I don't know how to start or which direction to go. I've tried making money using various programs. I'm working too hard trying to build my business. I want to spend more time enjoying my life. I want to leverage my skills to make more money. So this is the kind of things that I hear all the time from business owners, such as yourselves and anyone involved in business. And it becomes a very common sort of questions that are asked from many people. So let me ask you a question. Do you think that you are working too hard in your business right now? So just in the chat box, just give me a yes or a no. Do you think that you are working too hard in your business to sort of get the outcome you want financially? So I just want to see either a yes or a no in the chat box. Yeah, okay. A lot of people are saying no. Seems like I'm working too hard. Working too hard, not getting the results, and not getting the outcome. Okay, yes. All right. Okay, so that's interesting. So I want to share something with you. Okay, one of the main things that I learned from my mentor. I have several mentors, but one of my main mentors. If you don't know my story, I built a very successful multi-million dollar business, a corporate training company, only to lose that in 2008 during the recession. And to get myself back on my feet to where I am today, I learned one main thing from one of my main mentors, and he basically told me to focus on where the money is, okay, and focus where the main money is from the least effort. So basically, making the most amount of money from the least effort. And one of the books that I read is a quite interesting book that I'm going to talk about in a second. But one thing I learned was this is all about leverage. Okay, so one thing I learned from my mentor was the word leverage in terms of in terms of how to leverage your time, how to leverage your skills, how to leverage everything around you that you can use to potentially make a lot of money from with the least effort. Okay, so leverage is what we're talking about here, and this is something, if most of you know me, is what I've always been doing in my business life. It's all about leverage and finding the leverage. So I always ask myself, how can I make the most amount of money with the least amount of effort? Okay, so what can I find that works really, really well, and how can I make the most amount of money with the least amount of effort? So, I'm always looking at strategies in terms of if I start a new business or if I acquire a new business, how can I leverage my time as much as I can to make the most out of that by spending the least amount of effort? Okay, so this is what this is all about. So basically here it is, focus on the one thing, and if most of you probably read this book by Gary Keller. Gary Keller talks about focusing on that one thing that makes money, and just really, really focusing and concentrating and doing that as much as you can. Okay, so find that one thing that works really, really well. And as you know, some of the best things to do are to copy other people who have been successful. If someone has developed or been successful doing something like this that I've been doing over the last 10 years, then surely it would work for you. I've been doing this for a long time, and only now I'm sharing it with people in terms of. And the reason is because I see a lot of people struggle, and I want people to be successful, and I want to teach people how to really leverage their time and see how powerful and amazing this thing is that you could be doing. So here's the thing: there are better ways of going out there and making money, right? I know that for a fact. I've been doing this for 10 years. I've been in business for the last 20 years, and I've made a lot of money from most of the ventures that I've been involved in. But I only get involved in ventures that basically make me the most amount of money, spending the least amount of effort. Okay, that's what it's all about, and that's what you should always focus on when looking at a new business, or looking at a new system or a new program or whatever it is. Try and decipher where the leverage is in that. So here's the thing: I've used this exact same model method to make just over $4.25 million over the last few years, and it's fun. You know, I stopped doing it for a while. Now I'm back in it in the game again because the demand is just there. The demand is so high for this. It's just phenomenal. It's just it's it is pretty easy, and it is so much fun as well. And I want to share that with you today. So basically, it's a boot camp. And what a boot camp is a mini mastermind. Okay, so a boot camp is a mini mastermind. That's what it is. And most of you have heard about the mastermind effect. You know, you surround yourself with others on the same mission, and business people love it. It's you have so much fun. This is one of my past boot camps that I held in Las Vegas. I hold all my boot camps in Las Vegas. It's the easiest place to hold boot camps. You can find some great venues, and it's not expensive at all, and the profit margins are really high. And this is a boot camp that I've been running for the last 10 years, where attendees pay $10,000 each for 3 days to come and learn about how to become joint venture brokers. So it's quite unique and quite niche. I'm possibly the only one in the world doing this, and I've probably the only one who's been doing it over the last sort of 10 years, to be honest with you. And it's so much fun, and it's so easy to do. It's basically it's a rinse and repeat model, and it is so much fun. And I want to just show you more about that today, about the opportunity of how to do it yourself. So basically, all you're doing is you're creating a 2 or 3 day high ticket bootcamp and just hosting it 3 or 4 times a year. Easy. If you want to host it more than 3 or 4 times a year, you're welcome to do that. The sky's the limit in terms of what you can earn from it, and I'm going to show you some financials on this model in terms of what you can earn. But I pretty much tend to do my high ticket boot camps just 3 or 4 times a year. Enough for me. It's fun. I get to travel to my favorite place, which is Vegas, and it is just so much fun. And at the same time, you get paid to have fun, which is what I love about these boot camps. Plus, you meet some amazing people who have become great friends. I've created a whole new community out of this, and a lot of success stories. But it's just so much fun if you're really like associating yourself with people on the same level as you. That's one of the great things about boot camps, and what I class as a mini mastermind, rather than just just a standard training course, for example, or a workshop. So here's the high ticket bootcamp system. Create your signature high ticket bootcamp. Now this is pretty easy. If you have content already, if you have a book that's published, if you have a mini workshop or an online course, that can be easily converted into a signature high ticket bootcamp. Now that signature high ticket bootcamp has to be very unique to yourself. And that's what people buy. That's why people will attend, because one of the reasons they will attend is, number one, first of all, to spend time with you, and number two, they'll want to be surrounded in a room with the same mindset of people, and the same people sharing the same vision and the goal to get the outcome from that boot camp. And like I said, it's a mini mastermind without the mastermind price. Like you see at the moment, masterminds are all the rage, and I've been doing these for over the last 10 years, and they're just so easy to do, and so enjoyable, and it's something that a lot of business owners really really enjoy. And then basically, then you need to find the perfect low cost venue. Now, I do all my boot camps in Vegas because they have the most amazing venues for all shapes and sizes, and they cover everything basically. And it's not expensive at all to host a high ticket boot camp in Vegas, and it's a great place for people to come and visit because they always want to take a couple of days after the boot camp to enjoy Vegas. So, like I say, Vegas is a great location. But like I say, you can also do it locally if you want as well. There's no reason why you can't do a boot camp locally if you didn't want to travel. So basically, after you found the perfect low cost venue, then just organize 3 to 4 boot camps a year. And this is pretty easy to do. Once you put the content together for one boot camp, whether it's 2 or 3 days, it's very easy to just rinse and repeat that same boot camp, and use the testimonials from each boot camp to sell the next boot camp. Basically, the structures of my boot camps are between 6 and 10 people that I found to be the best for a small mastermind experience. I have tried bigger, 15, 20, but 6 to 10 is where I keep it at, basically, for that ultimate mastermind experience, which is what people pay for. Um, for these boot camps, you want to charge a minimum of $5,000 each. Being a boot camp mastermind experience, I normally charge $10,000 for my programs, my brokering boot camp programs. But you would want to charge a minimum of $5,000 each for a 2 3 day experience boot camp, or with 6 to 10 people in a mastermind setting. So each bootcamp should be worth between $30,000 and $50,000 to you. If you're charging 5K and you've got between 6 and 10, which is very easy to get, 6 to 10 people into a bootcamp, and charge $5,000 each bootcamp should be worth between 30 and 50K. And basically, if you're doing 3 to 4 boot camps a year, that's easily 6 figures plus on the boot camps that you can easily do with this high ticket boot camp system. Okay, so why run high ticket boot camps? So here's the thing, you don't need big numbers to fill them, okay? So these are small, intimate boot camps. We're not talking about large events with like hundreds of people. This is a small boot camp event, which is easy to organize. And with all the risks that are going on right now around the world, small, I believe, boot camps, small events are such easier to do. And in a location like Vegas, where they have conferences and they have basically events happening all the time, and smaller events as well, it just makes it much easier to get involved with what's going on the local scene as well. It's also highly leveraged for your time to run a high ticket boot camp, whether it's locally, for example, or in another destination. Very high profit margins, boot camps. The cost of fulfillment is basically really just very, very low, meaning most of the profit you make from each attendee is yours to keep. So it's very, very good. Great fun in great locations. If you like to travel, you can select locations literally all over the world, because people will travel and come to a boot camp, whether it's a local boot camp, regional, but it's something that people love to get involved in because they're in the same room as the same caliber of people, and they're paying for that privilege also. Okay, so let's look at the 7 reasons to run high ticket boot camps. First of all, it has a huge impact for attendees. Now, this is one of the things that I've found about running boot camps. The testimonials that we get back from doing boot camps has been actually pretty phenomenal. A lot of people who come to these boot camps love the experience so much. I've had people come back 2 or 3 times to a high ticket boot camp, just to be surrounded in the room with like-minded people. And like I say, it is like a mastermind effect and a mastermind experience. and that's what people pay for. I mean, people love coming to masterminds, but masterminds are expensive. They're not very they're not very low cost. They're not that affordable. But running a high ticket boot camp in a mastermind setting is literally is quite amazing. The feedback that we get from attendees, because they love being in the same room, like I say, as the same caliber of people, and great friendships are forged from that, and you build a really good community as well. Like I said before, it's cheaper than a regular mastermind. Masterminds nowadays are between sort of $20,000 up to fifty to $100,000 for a mastermind, and people pay to be in the same room as other people like them. And this is what I found about doing high ticket boot camps: is the caliber of people that you can get to attend is actually pretty phenomenal, and that's what people like, and that's what people want, to be in a group of people like that, and are also sharing the same space as you also. Also, here's the thing with high ticket boot camps: they have a huge perceived value versus an online program. Now, most of you know me. I do online programs all the time. I probably do about 3 or 4 different online programs a year, and those are high ticket programs, but not super, not basically high ticket like my boot camps. Um, the boot camps are more perceived value because people are traveling to a location. um, they're being they're having face to face time with you, and they're also being involved with a group of people that are, like I say, at the same caliber. If people are coming into a boot camp and paying $5,000 to spend 2 or 3 days, other people in the same room have done the same thing. So the caliber of people in a room is quite amazing. And I always say to my students, especially my joint venture students, that don't stop going to free events, start paying to go to events, because you'll meet the right people and the right caliber of people in a room that are just like you. So if you really want a super network and get something out of being in a room with dedicated people who have paid $5,000 each. I mean, some of my boot camps, my broker boot camps, is $10,000. This is a place that people love to come, and this is a place that's people will pay to be in that room. And like I say, it's a very small number group, 6 to 10. So it's everyone gets attention by being there. Also helps you create a community of high achievers. People who come to these boot camps, who are paying $5,000 to spend 2 or 3 days, to be not literally locked in a room really, or in a boardroom, to spend time with their peers or with other high achievers. And plus, you get to create a community of high achievers yourself, of people that are at a high caliber. So this is one of the beauties of running high ticket boot camps, because of the perceived value. You can sell a $997 program or $500 program, but you don't get as much in terms of caliber or high achievers that you would be able to get like in a room when you do a high ticket boot camp. So it's pretty phenomenal, the people you meet and connect with in a high ticket boot camp. Also, it has massive high ticket credibility for you. Running boot camps, I mean, I've been doing these boot camps, like I said, for 10 years. Most people know, in terms of when they approach me, or if they want to do one of my programs, that my programs aren't cheap, basically. My programs, most of them are high ticket programs. I have a signature program that's, $10,000, and most people know what to expect and what they get out of that program, and people pay it. So, it creates that high ticket credibility for you in the marketplace as well. And it's good. And also, one of the things you could do with a high ticket bootcamp also is you can record it and you can sell it as a home study, which is what I do. My home study system, which is just basically the video recordings of one of my boot camps with all the templates, goes between $3,000 and $5,000 just for a home study version of the recordings of a 10K bootcamp. So that's one of the great things about a bootcamp. Also, if you video it, it still has huge perceived value versus an online program. You can literally sell it as a home study system, okay, which is what I've been doing that for the last 10 years. And um, uh, you know, I don't know if most of you have seen some of my posts. When I was living over in Dubai, I was sending over, which was basically a hard drive to customers, and they were paying $5,000 for a hard drive, which basically had the recordings of my high ticket bootcamp. And let me tell you one thing else as well. Also, people will reach out to you and say, "Look, I can't travel to the high ticket boot camp. Do you have a recording of it?" And some people have paid the same amount for those same people who have attended a boot camp, but they've just got a home study system. Okay, so this is, a very high caliber resource for high achievers, and people will pay that. So this is one of the great things about doing high ticket boot camps. Also, if you record a high ticket boot camp, now you have access to that, and you can basically make money from the home study system for people who can't travel to your high ticket bootcamp. This is why it's as you can see there, huge perceived value, absolutely huge perceived value. And I still have the recordings of bootcamps that I did literally 10 years ago, and most of the stuff that I teach is evergreen. So people will still buy it. People will spend $3,000, $5,000 on now. What we can get is a USB stick with all the resources, the agreements, templates, all my recordings of my bootcamp. So it's pretty phenomenal what you can do with the bootcamp, and how you can repurpose it and actually make good money off it as well. Pretty phenomenal. Also, like I said, there's little fulfillment and it's high profit. Okay, the fulfillment is minimal, and this is one of the reasons why I do all my high ticket boot camps in Las Vegas, because it is not expensive at all to run it in Vegas. People love it. Also, it's a great place to take people out. If someone's paying between 5 and 10K for a boot camp, then go out and at least buy them lunch on the first day, which is what I always do. And I always treat my attendees like VIPs, and they love it. And the experience is brilliant. We're in Las Vegas, so you get to do a lot of things, and it's just a great experience. And people love that. They walk away with that, and they go, "You know what? Such a wonderful time we had in Vegas." And they take pictures and photos, and it's also an experience, and it's also a memory for them. So which you can't get from an online course or an online program. Okay, you cannot get that from that. You can only get that from a high ticket bootcamp, which is structured around a mastermind experience, which is what I do, which is quite unique in terms of in the marketplace. Now, my bootcamps, if you look at all my photos or on my Facebook profile of my bootcamps, you see the setting for them and how they are basically mini masterminds. And this is what people love. People, love the setting, and you'll see all the video testimonials I've got literally of people who have been to my boot camps and high ticket boot camps, and what they loved about them. And that's one of the main things they say. It's such an amazing connection of people in a mastermind setting. Also, you can host it locally or anywhere in the world. Now, if you want to do it locally, you can do it locally. There's venues that I use that you can use as well, that are not expensive at all, but incorporate everything into one setting, which allows you to save literally thousands and thousands of dollars on a standard setup. The first bootcamp that I ever did in Vegas, I was at the Aria, and I basically hired a penthouse suite because I thought that's what people wanted. And when I first started, my boot camps were $15,000 for 5 days, and because people were spending $15,000, that's what I thought people wanted: a plush, penthouse suite, glass building with all the bells and whistles. But people actually, they pay for the information really at a boot camp, and they pay for the experience, and they pay for being around the same caliber of people. So that's what I learned a lot about doing boot camps over the last 10 years, and it saved me a lot of money in the long run. Okay, so again, basically create a 2 or 3 day high ticket boot camp and just host it 3 or 4 times a year, which is easy. Okay, and then all you've got to do is just sign up 10 No, so it's 6 to 10 people. That's all you need, right? 6 to 10. Don't get greedy. Don't think that you want to do it a 15 or 20, 25 person event. It's not worth it because the fulfillment, the time, and also the mastermind setting, I found 10 is a max. You can get a boardroom with 10 seats, and it's just easy to control, easy to manage, and easy to create that mastermind setting. Anything over 10, it turns into a workshop, which is what you don't want. You want a high ticket mastermind style boot camp. Okay, you're teaching, but also you're masterminding at the same time. But people aren't paying the actual standard cost of a mastermind, right? The experience is pretty phenomenal. And to be honest with you guys, I'm going to be doing more of that this year. I'm going to be rolling out more boot camps this year. You're going to watch some phenomenal locations that I'll be doing them in, which is going to be, opening up a lot of opportunities for you guys to also partner with me, right, on boot camp. So that's going to be pretty cool. So basically, just sign up 6 to 10 people, and you'll make easily between 30k to 50k per boot camp. That's per boot camp, guys. Now 50k, if you if you did one boot camp, a 3-day boot camp, and you made 50k, and you did 2 boot camps and you made 100k, guess what? You can take the rest of the year off. One of the things that I was doing many years ago was just literally just working 6 months of the year. I've got young kids, and this is what I was doing, and I was just literally making. I was, but alongside my boot camps and my JV consulting, I was pocketing 7 figures a year and just working 6 months of the year, which I thought was pretty phenomenal. And the boot camps, I love doing them. And like I said, I don't really need the money. I have investments. I sold my consulting practice in 2017, but I just love doing these boot camps, because the demand is there. People want to come to my boot camps, and I'm not going to say no, because I enjoy it and I love meeting people as well at my boot camp. So it's just so much fun. Unbelievable. So guys, you can make between 30k to 50k per boot camp. If your goal is to make 100k, just do 2 boot camps and take the rest of the year off. It's as simple as that. Here's a question. Would you like your very own high ticket boot camp? So give me a yes or yes in the chat box. Would you like your own high ticket boot camp? Okay, so everyone's saying yes. 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 Brilliant. Okay. All right. So here's the thing, guys. Here's what I'm going to share with you. Okay. As you know, I started these boot camps in 2010. Okay. And my standard boot camp is a 3-day JV brokering boot camp, and that's what it's called. And most of you can Google that. It's brokeringbootcamp.com. And I charge 10k for my bootcamp programs. And to date, I've completed over 40 plus bootcamps. Okay, now I've been doing this for the last 10 years, and it has been so much fun, and it's continued to be so much fun. So as you can see, all the people in these pictures, I get between 6 and 10 people at a bootcamp, and they're certified as well. But I've been just doing the one thing, guys. Remember I told you the book, The One Thing? I've been doing the one thing for the last 10 years, and that's one thing: joint venture brokering bootcamp. That's it, and it's worked for me again and again and again, and I've had so much fun. And like I said, this is the one thing that I focused on that makes me the most amount of money with the least amount of effort. So if you're interested in creating your own high ticket bootcamp, I want to introduce to you my Big Money Bootcamps program. Right, so here's what it includes: 2 days live bootcamp training with me in Las Vegas, in the venue where I do my bootcamps. I'm going to show you how to create your signature bootcamp. So basically, take your content that you currently have, whether it's a book, a course, or whether it's guidelines, and show you how to create a signature bootcamp, whether it's a 2-day or 3-day bootcamp. I'm going to show you also how to build your expert credibility. That's very important if you want to charge those 5k, 10k fees for a bootcamp. I'll show you step by step how to do that in the quickest time. I'll also allow you to partner with me and piggyback on my credibility to get you attendees, to get you your bootcamp bootcamps off the ground. I'll show you how to create your high ticket offer, how easy that is to put together a high ticket offer, and how to psychologically create that high ticket offer. I'm also going to talk about the 7-figure advanced bootcamp strategy. It's something that I've done in the past that's basically made me double the income of a bootcamp, and it's I don't use it all the time, but it's something that I can show you how to apply if you want to use it. I'm also going to show you how to sell your bootcamp without using ads. Okay, I've never ever done an ad or paid for an ad for my bootcamps. I use social media, and that's all I do. I have a mechanism and strategy in place that generates leads. And like I say, for me, if I want 10 people at my bootcamp, I don't need to speak to more than 25 people, and I can get 10 people in my bootcamp. So my closing rate is pretty good. The last bootcamp I did, we had I think 8 people, 8 people at that bootcamp, and that one I only spoke to 10 people, and I closed 7, I think it was 7 or 8 at that bootcamp. Okay, so I'll show you a system that I use, my whole script, and actually also how to get people to say yes to attending. I use a closing a strategy which is not forced pressure. I hate pressure selling. And for those of you guys who are listening in and have been to my boot camps, you know the close that I use, and how most of you said yes to that close and to attend my high ticket boot camp. I'm going to show you the exact close I use, and I'll let you use that close also to close your high ticket boot camp. So I'll share everything with you. It's strictly limited to just 6 people. This bootcamp here is going to be a very small bootcamp because I'm sharing everything and all my systems and all my marketing strategy and my sales system in terms of how to get people into a high ticket bootcamp. So I don't want to share it with too many people because it is something that I've been doing for 10 years. Now the dates for this bootcamp are Monday the 20th of April to Tuesday the 21st of April in Las Vegas. Now, I know currently we have a pandemic going on. I don't see it as most of the big conferences have been cancelled, but a lot of us guys are still doing our smaller events during this period of time. And I've actually cast the net out a bit further. I was planning to do it end of this month, but I've now extended it to April, which I'm sure will be okay. And it's in Las Vegas. It's a small event, guys. It's only going to be 6 people. It's not a huge event. So it's not. I don't see the risk as being as big as if I was doing a big event with hundreds of people. And most of my friends in the industry have cancelled the bigger events, but a lot of my friends in the industry are still doing the smaller events. So Monday the 20th of April to Tuesday the 21st of April. Write that down in Las Vegas. Now it is going to be $5,000 when I officially launch. I want to run what I call a beta group bootcamp just to lock down the content, and it will probably be recorded as well, so I can use the recordings for future use. That's a possible. I'll see if I can get a recording of that bootcamp for those people who probably can't attend. So this is one of the reasons why I'm going to have it at such a low price point. So if you want to join my beta bootcamp today, it's $2,500 instead of $5,000, or you can pay 2 payments of $1,450, which means you make 1 payment and 30 days later you make the remainder payment of $1,450. Now, I said this is a beta bootcamp program. I will probably end up recording it because this is why I've got the price at a low price point, because I want to get it out there and make sure that it gets the testimonials that I need to be able to do more of these bootcamps. Now, Monday the 20th of April, Tuesday the 21st of April, write that down, in Las Vegas. And like I say, it's going to be a beta version of my bootcamp, which is just really a starter bootcamp to get everything together. And instead of $5,000, all you pay, guys, today is $2,500, or 2 payments of $1,450. I'm going to allow you to split that into 2 payments, okay? If it helps for anyone who really is interested in coming. So you pay the first $1,450, and basically you're in. You can come to the bootcamp in Vegas. So here it is. I've got another special webinar only offer. Here's how you can save even more money off the price of the bootcamp. And it's something that I don't normally do, but I'm going to do it for this bootcamp because I want to get people in. And like I say, this is a beta version of my bootcamp. It's a beta bootcamp program. You can bring a business partner or spouse for free. So if you have a business partner, you can split the cost between you two. Or if you have a spouse, you can bring your spouse with you. If you work together with your spouse and you guys want to be together in the room, brainstorming with everyone else, bring together this your high ticket bootcamp program, you are welcome to do that. You can bring a business partner or spouse for free, okay? Because I think why not, okay? It's so much fun. I have had people in the past bring their business partners or their spouse, but I've never done it for free. They've always either paid a minimum amount or they pay half of the actual bootcamp fee. But for this bootcamp, because my beta bootcamp, you don't pay anything to bring that business partner or spouse for free. Okay, so I think that's pretty cool. So it also includes 90-day support to help you launch your first bootcamp. So I'm not just going to put you in a room and say, hey, get on with it. After the bootcamp, I'm going to work with you for 90 days because it normally takes 60 days we need runtime to go out and promote the bootcamp to get the full numbers in. And then 30 days, I'll work with you to finalize the bootcamp. Now, you'll get the 90-day support. If you launch the bootcamp before 90 days, even better. If you want to launch it within the first 30 days and we have everything ready to go from the bootcamp, then I'll help you launch that first bootcamp straight after we finish in Vegas. Okay, so you've got my support with you guys there. My whole main aim really is to get you to launch that bootcamp and make money from that bootcamp. Not only recover your fee, which you will easily do, you will recover it from a half a person. If a half a person signed up to one of your boot camps, you've made your money back. Okay, so that's pretty phenomenal, and that's good. And then obviously, if you get the boot camp and we fill the boot camp and you do the boot camp, then I would love to have that testimonial from you also of how we managed to do that using my Big Money Bootcamp system. So guys, here's the next step. If you're serious, you've got to ask yourself this question, especially now more than ever. What is it costing you to stay where you are? Okay, is it costing you more than $2,500 to stay exactly where you are? Okay, now you've got to look at that and seriously answer that question for the investment. So here's what I want you to do. Go to the application link below, www.bigmoneybootcamps.com, to secure your spot immediately. Now this is going to be an application through application only, because I need to be able to talk to you to first of all figure out, do you have something that we can actually create a signature bootcamp from at the bootcamp program. What I don't want is just put up a link, people pay, they come to the bootcamp, it's like, I've got nothing, so we've got to start from scratch. It doesn't work like that. I want success stories, so we need to look at your skill, see where your skill set is, see how we can leverage that. Do you have any content we can leverage? And basically, how can we help you create a signature bootcamp program over the 2 days in Vegas, and then promote that as a bootcamp after Vegas to make money? Okay, so that's what I'm really, really focused and interested on. So, guys, here's the next step. If you're serious, go to www.bigmoneybootcamps.com right now and just fill in the form, and I will get on a call just to decipher and make sure that we qualify you as the right person or people to come to the bootcamp, because I'm offering this bootcamp very, very low price of $2,500 compared to $5,000, which is what I was going to charge for it. But like I said, I want to get a beta group set up and running ASAP. And if you go to the application there, bigmoneybootcamps.com, that you can secure your spot immediately and get on that application, and I'll basically give you a call and we'll go through it. And at the end of the day, if you don't qualify, I'll still be able to help you on the call. So have the call anyway. I think you'll highly benefit from it. And like I said, if you're watching the recordings, go to that URL, bigmoneybootcamps.com, and just apply there, and we'll jump on a call very, very soon and take you through it. And if you do get qualified, then I really hopefully look forward to seeing you in Las Vegas for the Big Money Bootcamps 2-day program, April the 20th to Monday, April 20th to Tuesday, April the 21st in Las Vegas. All right, guys, so let's have a couple of questions. Let's have a Q&A while we are here. Somebody says, I have a new podcast, fancy being a guest. I love being interviewed on podcasts. Shoot me an email or message me on Facebook or LinkedIn and let me know what it is the podcast is first. So yes. Okay, let's have a look and see if we've got any more questions. we'll talk to you about this as it's a good fit for me. Okay, brilliant. Yeah, just like I say, just shoot me an email. That's fine, and we'll do that. Is there a recording? I'm in Australia. A recording for what? For this webinar or for the boot camp? This one here that we're on now. There is a for the boot camp. Yes, I will plan on doing that. If we get the numbers, then yes, it's something that I'll definitely look at doing because it's a beta program, and I would want to do that. I would want to get it recorded. This is why I've got the price at such a low price point compared to what I normally have. All right, let's have a look. Any more questions here? My Okay, so I'm not sure I sent you my workshop that could be called a bootcamp. Yeah, if you have a workshop already, a workshop program, yes, we can. I can help you convert that into a bootcamp. That's not a problem. Um, Someone says things have changed a lot over the last 10 years, especially in my business. Well, to be honest with you, someone says, hey, what do you actually teach? I basically teach people how to become joint venture brokers. Okay, mine is more of a BizOp bootcamp than I do, and I've been doing this for the last 10 years, like clockwork, 3 or 4 times a year. So nothing's really changed on the business front. It's still people still want to come, people still pay, and it's something that's in demand. So this is what I want to find out from you. You know, if you go to that URL www.bigmoneybootcamps.com, submit your application. We get on a call, and I'll find out if you have something that can be leveraged and created and turned into a bootcamp. Okay, and I'll even give you an indication of how we can how I can help you promote it at the same time as well. Okay, someone says that how long does it take to get the 6 to 10 attendees? This really depends. Now, I normally something that I didn't actually show you, but I should have actually is that I normally would put up a post, for example, on social media, and I would fill my boot camp within 2 weeks, 2 weeks to 30 days. So between 15 to 30 days, I would aim at filling my boot camp. If you're new, then you want to take a bit longer. But it normally takes you around 2 weeks to 30 days, depending on the numbers that I want. Now, if I got 6 people into a boot camp and I was happy with that in the first 2 weeks, I take it. But then it really depends, because for me, it's not really about the numbers. It's about the quality of people in the room for me. Um, so hell, I will work on providing a high-end venue for one of your next big ticket boot camps. Yeah, sure. Send me across if you've got a high ticket venue. But most of my boot camps, I mean, all of my boot camps now, I do them in Las Vegas. So someone says, do you need a funnel to guide the prospects to an ultimate bootcamp? No, not at all. Not at all. What I use, and if you see what I use, it's just a form that tells people to book a call with me if they want to find out more about the bootcamp. I do put a long post up in social media. Go and have a look at my profile and have a look at some of my bootcamp posts. They're quite long, but it details everything. And what we do is we do something called stacking the value. I make the proposition so good that someone would say, wow, I'm spending, I'll give you an example. I'm spending 10K, but I'm getting like 100K's worth of value, right? So you've got to stack the value. It's all about stacking the value. So if someone was paying 5K to come to a 2 or 3 day bootcamp, but they're getting 50 or 100K worth of value, that's what you got to look at. That's the biggest thing that gets people to say, you know what, 5 grand is a no-brainer. I posted in my I posted on my social media the other day. If if you would you spend 5K to make 100K? That's what I said, and everyone said yes. So, I had a lot of people comment on that, and most of those people I've reached out to, and they've, I just took them to one page, which is the page that you're going to see, which is www.bigmoneybootcamps.com. Just go and have a look at that page. That's what I send people to, and then they set up a call, and then I close them on the call. That's how traditionally this high ticket bootcamp works. I've been doing these bootcamps without doing a webinar. In the past, I've just had people say, hey, when's your next one? I said, go to this page, book a call, and I'll tell you more about it. But I think what the biggest thing is the actual structure of the call, which is what I'm going to teach you, and the close. The close for me is a high ratio, 70 to 80%. A close rate I get on that, and something I'm going to go through with you and teach you how to do that. So it says, what's the difference between a boot camp and a mastermind? Basically, a boot camp is where you're teaching something, but it's an intensive. So they're getting a lot of learning in a short space of time. A mastermind really is just a gathering where you're trying to better yourself by learning from other people in the room. So I combine that together. Now, when I first started doing my boot camps many years ago, it used to be me teaching in front of a room of people, and that's what it was. It was a boot camp. But then I found it more beneficial to sit in the middle in a boardroom setting and create a mastermind out of it, but at the same time teaching in the mastermind while everyone else was connecting with each other. That's what I found was the secret sauce. And that's when people came, they recommended and they referred other people to do the same thing. So it worked really well. Are there niches or sectors boot camps work for better? Really depends. Boot camps work really well in the biz op space, business opportunities. But if you're teaching something like a skill, it works as well. If you're teaching marketers how to generate leads, I got a friend of mine, Nicholas. He does something called the Art of High. No, he does the Art of Lead Generation Bootcamp. I think for that bootcamp he charges, I think, $10,000 as well. He's been doing that for the last couple of years. So there's a couple of us guys in the industry who do high ticket boot camps, and we've been doing them for quite a while. So yes, and most of his audience are people who want to learn about Facebook ads. So anything to do with like digital marketing works really well. Internet marketing, lead generation, or even specialist if you're in a special niche or special sector works really, really well. Guys, great questions. If you've got any more questions, please put it in the question box. And like I say, if you want to attend my Big Money Boot Camps in Vegas, April 20th, Monday, April 20th to Tuesday, April 21st, please go to the application link below, www.bigmoneybootcamps.com. Submit your details there, and we'll jump on a call and I'll tell you whether it's the boot camp is right for you or not, and whether it will work for you, and how it will work for you, and what sort of results you can get by attending that boot camp. And like I said, I've only got 6 spots on that boot camp, so it's going to be a very small boot camp over in Las Vegas in April. Like a guarantee for attendees. The thing is with guarantees, there is never a guarantee. When I used to have a job, I always thought there was a guarantee in a job. When I had a business, which made me a multi-millionaire, I thought there was a guarantee in a business, but it wasn't. I lost that business in 2008. So there's never a guarantee. And to be honest with you, if your first question to me is, do you have a money back guarantee? I wouldn't accept you on the program, because that should not be your first question to attend one of my boot camps. I look for questions like, will this work for me? How will it work? What can I expect? What are the outcomes? So, a risk reversal you can do. And I do that on most of my boot camps. I have a risk reversal that I do. And my risk reversal is actually what closes my boot camp. So I'll just give you a clue there. But on this one, because it's a beta program and I'm literally letting you come in for half price, no, I wouldn't do a money back guarantee on that, because that's not what I really want to focus on. I really want to focus on a results guarantee. So yeah, I can give you a results guarantee, and the result would be that I would help you until you get your first bootcamp off the ground. So I hope that works. Next question. For your own boot camps, it really depends. I would never do a money back guarantee, but if you wanted to do a money back guarantee, and something that I've done in the past, I would say if you did a 3-day boot camp, you would give people a money back guarantee on day 2, let them come to day 1, and where you teach your foundation, and then say to them, if you're not convinced that by completing this bootcamp you will get X or Y result, then we'll happily refund your money on day 2. So you can use that. That's something that I've used in the past. But I use a different risk reversal, which I basically use to close people. And like I said, I'm not going to really divulge that, because that is something that only people who will come onto this bootcamp program will learn how to do. And it's worked like gangbusters. I mean, I'm closing people who are paying 10K to come to a 3-day bootcamp using using my risk reversal close. So, and I'll happily give that to you if you show up at my 2-day bootcamp in Vegas on Monday, April the 20th to Tuesday, April 21st. You show up for that. I'll lay everything down on the table, and I'll show you exactly what I've been doing and how I've been doing it consistently for the past 10 years, and how you can replicate that, and how I will help you replicate that 90 days after the boot camp is over as well. So guys, that's it. Let me know if you've got any more questions. If not, then we'll wrap up the training today. But I really appreciate some great questions here. I really appreciate that. And like I say, if you really are interested in attending the bootcamp, like I say, I'm doing it at a very, very low price for a beta, so I can get it set up and ready to promote for the future. And like I said, I'm also offering you a 2-split payment, and I'm offering you to bring a business partner spouse for free. So really, when you talk about risk reversal, you've got 3 reasons to not say no. Okay, someone says I'm okay, fine. Okay, I've just filled in the application. Look forward to speaking to you. Okay, brilliant. I appreciate that. And like I said, guys, go to the URL www.bigmoneybootcamps.com and just fill in the form there to apply to be on the boot camp for Vegas. Right, guys, I appreciate you wherever you are in the world, and I hope you really. I've been enjoying my training webinars. We're going to be doing a couple of more of these this year, so I'm really getting back into the swing of things. And I've got some really, really cool things happening as well. Okay, brilliant. Yeah. Okay. Yes, Jamal. I look forward to that. Yeah, send it across to me and let me know what you have. And like I said, I'm going to be helping those people at the boot camp take their business to the next level, because you know what, I want you guys to learn this stuff and learn how to leverage this, so you can just do 2 or 3 boot camps a year, and you know what, literally take the rest of the year off, and you will be able to use my credibility on this, guys, as well. I'm willing to back you. If you come to my boot camp, I'll be willing to back you on that, okay, and help you create a boot camp. Who knows, we may even do a boot camp together if your content's good enough, right? If your content's good enough and I find it really good, I may be interested in doing that bootcamp with you. Okay, and obviously I'll let you keep the lion's share, which is fine. But we can talk more about that once you go to bigmoneybootcamps.com, put your information there, and let's get on a call. I'm always up for partnerships and collaborations. This year is the year of collaborations for me, so I'm always up for that. If you've got something that is quite unique and you think could work really, really well, and you want to use my framework and infrastructure, and possibly even get me to help you promote it, I'm willing to do that. And we can talk about that as well. And if you really want to come to the bootcamp, that's great. All right, guys. So before I go, www.bigmoneybootcamps.com, and get your application in ASAP, because I think we will close quite quickly once we get 6 people. I think we've already got 2 people right now that I'm talking to that want to come, and then I'll have 4 spots left, and then after that we're closing up the applications for the bootcamp. All right, guys, take care wherever you are. Have a great evening, afternoon, and I appreciate your time as always on my live webinar. And if you're watching the recordings, I appreciate you taking time out to do that as well. So take care, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye.